Once upon a time, a person visited Gautam Buddha, seeking guidance on how to manage their emotions. The individual was struggling with feelings of anger and frustration and wished to gain better control over them. Buddha smiled warmly and invited the person to take a seat. He conveyed that he would share a tale about a king who ruled a prosperous kingdom. One day, the king decided to visit a neighboring realm known for its wise ruler. Upon his arrival, the neighboring king welcomed him with great honor and organized a grand feast in his honor. During the feast, the king noticed a fly in his soup, which disgusted him. In reaction, he instructed his servant to bring him another bowl of soup. Observing this, the neighboring king calmly spoke, advising the king not to be angry over such a trivial matter, as it was just a small fly and not worth getting upset about. The king responded, stating that he couldn't tolerate such things, and even a small fly could ruin his mood. The wise ruler from the neighboring kingdom smiled and shared a valuable piece of advice. He pointed out that it was not the fly that ruined the king's mood. This realization deeply impacted the king, and he returned to his kingdom with newfound wisdom. From that day forward, he practiced the art of not impulsively reacting to situations that would typically trigger his emotions. He found that by doing so, he could maintain his composure in challenging circumstances and make better decisions. The power of not reacting became a crucial lesson for everyone. Often, people react without considering the consequences, leading to negative outcomes. Reacting with anger and frustration can damage relationships and hinder clear thinking. However, it's essential to understand that not reacting doesn't mean suppressing emotions. Emotions are a natural part of being human, and acknowledging them is vital. Instead of impulsive reactions, taking the time to process emotions thoughtfully is key. In another part of the world, there lived a young man named Michael, who was highly emotional and prone to impulsive reactions when faced with upsetting situations. He would often get angry and say hurtful things, leading to arguments and hurt feelings. One day, Michael decided to take control of his emotions. He recognized that his impulsive reactions were causing more harm than good, and he desired change. He began practicing mindfulness and meditation. To improve his reactions, Michael adopted the art of not responding impulsively. When confronted with triggering situations, he would step back, take deep breaths, and thoughtfully assess the circumstances before responding. Initially challenging, Michael persisted with his practice, gradually finding it easier to control his emotions. His relationships with others improved significantly as he communicated calmly and thoughtfully, fostering stronger connections. One day, Michael's friend sought his advice during a tough time. Michael attentively listened to his friend's problems and offered words of comfort and support. His friend admired Michael's ability to remain composed and not get angry or upset. Michael humbly shared that it wasn't that he never felt those emotions, but he had learned to control them instead of letting them control him. His friend was intrigued and asked how he learned this skill. Michael shared his experience with mindfulness and the art of not reacting. He encouraged his friend to try it out for himself, and his friend was grateful for the advice. With continued practice, Michael became known for his calm and thoughtful demeanor, impressing others with his resilience in challenging situations. As Michael persisted with mindfulness and not reacting impulsively, he found a sense of inner peace and happiness. The power of not reacting had a transformative effect on his life, leading to better relationships, improved well-being, and overall fulfillment. The story of the King and Michael teaches us the profound lesson that we have the power to control our emotions. While we can't always control what happens to us, we can control our reactions. By practicing mindfulness and not reacting impulsively, we can respond thoughtfully to various situations. Anger may never entirely disappear, but by letting go of resentful thoughts, anger loses its grip. Holding on to anger is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to suffer. Learning to conquer oneself is more significant than conquering others in battles. Let us not be led by our reactions, but by our deliberate actions. True peace comes from within and cannot be found outside ourselves. Reacting with anger only hinders the search for truth, while responding with reason leads to understanding. In the end, what matters most is how much love we give, how gently we live, and how gracefully we let go of things not meant for us. Through practicing the power of not reacting, we can attain freedom. The mind plays a vital role in shaping our reality, and as we think, so do we become. Instead of dwelling on the past or dreaming of the future, let us concentrate on the present moment, for it is the only moment we truly live. Let us seek to find wisdom within ourselves rather than merely imitating the wise. Each person holds the power to purify themselves. No one else can do it for them. Gratitude should be our attitude, regardless of how much or how little we have learned or accomplished in a day. Love, not hatred, is the eternal rule for ending hatred. Our thoughts create our world, and through compassion, we can find happiness. Letting go of attachments, be it anger, anxiety, or possessions, leads to freedom. Cherishing moments of calmness and clarity is essential, just like water becomes clear when it is calm. One can speak assertively without causing harm, just like a sharp knife without drawing blood. The path to self-improvement lies in diligently seeking knowledge, not being idle. Our thoughts shape us, and we should strive. Our minds are our greatest allies or foes, leading us to good or evil ways. Turning an idea into action holds greater importance than merely conceiving it. Purity or impurity depends on our actions, not on others. Let us be thankful for each day and for what we have learned, for each experience, no matter how small, contributes to our growth. The past has gone, and the future is yet to come, thus, we must live in the present moment. In conclusion, we only have one life to live, and it is up to us to seize the moment and make the most of it. The words of wise individuals inspire us to seek greatness, and the path to success lies in loving what we do. Failure is not in falling, but in failing to be true to ourselves. Ultimately, we are responsible for our own salvation, and the key lies in our minds. Anger can only be quelled with love, and compassion leads to happiness. Our thoughts are the foundation of our reality, and with mindfulness and not reacting impulsively, we can shape a more fulfilling life. Let us embrace this valuable lesson, practicing it with patience.